What up, y'all? Hey. I'm gonna let y'all pile on in. Welcome to the VIP secret location of the Springtime Champ Slam, y'all. Hey. I'm so hyped, and I just want y'all to know that I was not going to let this year go by without me putting on a dress and feeling cute at least once. Because y'all always see me in some hoodie or this and that. And I need to, y'all to understand, like, I be giving it to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because this slam is about to be dope. Like, dope. And I'm super excited. And to everyone that supported, all of your ticket sales are going into the finals pot next week for all the poets that are competing in finals. So you're supporting this slam, but you're also supporting another slam. So thank you guys so much for just continuing to give. All right, so for those of you guys who have never been to a slam before, let me explain how this works, right? Most of y'all are OGs. Most of y'all know what's going down, all the things. But for those of you who do not, let me explain. All right, here we go. So here's how it works, all right? There will be two teams tonight, Team Chakra and Team Mabrey. Now, these are both Screen Time prior champs, okay? Meaning they won the whole kit and caboodle. On Team Chakra, there is three amazing poets that are about to spit and melt your face off tonight. We have Black Chakra, Lady Brion, and Meccamorphosis that are all going to be killing it. And then we have on Team Mabrey, Ed Mabrey, Obbie West, and Masterpiece. All right, so, and they're going to come, and after your face has been melted off by Chakra, they're going to melt you from like the neck to the waist. And so you're just going to be legs. That's it. You're just going to be able to barely walk out of here and do all things. Now, here's the thing. Each team is going to select a poet to go each round. It will be 3 rounds. That poet will come up. I have 5 pre-selected judges that the poets have already approved and looked at, and they don't know any of them. And those judges will then comment their scores in the comments right here between 0 to 10 using decimal points. And then the cumulative of all 3 rounds will determine the winner. Now, we also have 2 calibration poets tonight to make sure that our judges are loose. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they need to. They ain't all uptight because it slams. You know what I'm saying? Judges be real motherfucking uptight and not wanting to give away the right scores because they waiting for something better. But here, don't wait for nothing better. You know what I'm saying? But we have 2 calibration poets to make sure that you loosen up. You know what I'm saying? You feel the vibes and you getting good and all those kind of things. All right. Hey, Boo.
Hey.
Okay, so first of all, have you ever judged a slam?
Back in the day, I feel like I did one with you like years ago.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So, so poets, this is one of your judges. This is my dear friend, Juliet Irons, who is an amazing and brilliant dancer, and I love her so much.
I love you. Thanks for having me.
So, Juliet, what is your favorite color? Let's give the judges that.
Ooh, my favorite color, orange.
Okay, so that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting, poets, is her favorite color is orange. What are you excited about tonight?
I'm just so excited to be inspired. I feel like everyone's going to kill it, and I'm just stoked. I think it's going to be emotional.
I love it. I love it. All right, so Juliet, I'm going to let you sit back and get ready for this slam. I'm going to call another judge up. Thank you so much for being here, because without our judges, there is no slam, y'all. So, okay, I'm going to call another judge up. Figured I'd give a little. Hey, Boo!
Hi.
So, okay, so this is one of my bestest friends that I've known for a long time, and Judy is a poet, y'all. So she knows some things or two, and has slammed a couple of years, y'all. So a couple, you know what I mean? So you get to tell the poets your favorite color. What is that?
Today I'm gonna call it like green.
Okay, so favorite color green, poets, and one thing you're excited about tonight.
Aside from this dress.
Oh, thank you. Look, I bought this dress. Look, I have heat rash. I hate that. See, that's how you know I'm really white. So I bought this dress, and then I was like, oh my God, the whole year has gone by, and I haven't been able to wear it.
You didn't move towards the camera where it was like perfect cleave moment, and it was amazing. So aside from the dress, I'm excited to hear new poems, and I'm excited to see everybody slam.
I love it. I love it. All right, so Judy, I'm going to let you off the screen, and we are going to get this slam underway. So, ladies and gents, without further ado, I am going to be calling your first calibration poet up to the screen. And judges, this is your practice. So you're going to score 0 to 10 using decimal points. I've already sent you all the rules. I've already went over everything with you earlier today, so you know what the deal is. All right, so here we go. All right. Hey, Bluz! First of all, I love you. I'm allowed to be a little biased because you're a calibration poet. I'm not going to say anything else, and I'm going to let you just do your poem, but I just had to tell you that. All right, so without further ado, judges, this is your practice poet. You were going to score from 0 to 10. People in the audience, make sure you're sending love and sending up those hearts and going off in the comments to set this night off right. Without further ado, Bluz, the screen is yours.
They snatched us from the womb of Africa, shackled us on ships and shipped us off to America, where we are product and property. Our children became collateral and commodity. My ancestors' blood, sweat, and bodies basically built this country, this America, where they settle and build their privilege on someone else's burial ground. This America, where the sound of black bodies falling down is still a death jam that no one seems to hear. The ringing in your ears ain't from freedom. It's the police bringing that cock back and clap that high caliber injustice in your back. This America, where the object is to see how loud your mama can get at your funeral, to see how hard your father's heart breaks when they don't indict. Give them paid leave, another stripe on their sleeve. They strike and you bleed on soil or concrete, and the news story will read that you were just another nigga selling coke and weed, and on Instagram, and even some of your family and friends will believe, they will drink the Kool-Aid, every single word of it, that you deserve the murder you get. This is how America works, my friend. From the moment they unloaded us in Charleston to the last bullet popped in a black body in a church in Charleston, we are still paying the cost of carrying this black skin. Ask what the tax is on black girl magic, and the answer will be a black woman who does everything and her best to survive everything, overcome everything, because everything is doing everything it can to kill her, drown her spirit in this middle passage of passive, ultra-aggressive America, where lynching still ain't a crime, but a black boy joy is a terrorist threat that is punished by a jail sentence that feels like a Jim Crow rope around your neck. Dear America, you are now the bankrupt Atlantic City Casino, the failed School of Business, the canceled TV show, the falsely accused Central Park 5 threatened with death in a full-page newspaper ad, a grabbed vagina, a casualty from ignored pandemic, a child of a deported immigrant doing time in a cage. You are a burned church. You are those people, an unbuilt border wall, failing under the weight of a weak leader. America, can you hear the sirens, the sound of a black woman calling for your downfall, the sound of black men calling back to their mother, the sound of black boys rising from their graves, the sound of black girls chanting their magic spells over a hot cauldron, boiling with your demise. Taste your downfall, swallow your crooked karma, because this uprising, this reclaiming of blood, sweat, and tears will be us serving you Last Supper.
All right. Thank you so much, Bluz, for setting the night off as usual. I am sending my love. All right, so the poets had a 224. Poets had 310 to get through their poems. After that, it is a 0, y'all. So Bluz is good on time. Judges, this is your part where you practice, and you're going to send up your scores 0 to 10 using decimal points to the 10th place. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Judges, comment your scores. All right, I got a 6.8. From Timbo Slice, I got a 9.5 from Best Kept. All right, here we go. I got an 8.7 from Juliet Irons. I got a 9.5 from Meccamorphosis, Katie, and a 9.7 from Judy Holiday. Hey, it's slam. Scores are allowed to be whatever the hell that the judge feels at that moment and how it hit their spirit. As long as that particular judge is consistent with their own scores, that's all that matters to me. So judges, here is your second calibration poet to get you loose before this slam starts. Is Anita D. Oops. Hey, boo!
Hi.
All right. Are you ready to do a poem?
I guess so.
Okay.
Shit.
So without further ado, judges, this is another practice poet. So you're going to score between 0 to 10 using decimal points. So without further ado, Anita, the screen is yours.
Halloween used to be one of my family's favorite holidays. We loved decorating the house and the yard. My dad used to really get into it. And by that, I mean he used to actually be a decoration. So he'd costume himself into a ghoulish scarecrow and then lay out on the lawn chair, wait for local trick-or-treaters to approach the house and scare the living shit out of them. On occasion, he also used to scare the living shit out of me. You see, some of the masks he wore were so terrifying, I could barely look at him. Over the years, I noticed my family slowly stopped decorating. I'm not sure if it's because my brother and I grew older or if it's because I started to see my father turn monster more often. I mean, who needs decorations when a bottle of gin can do the trick? Be the potion or the poison that transforms a hero into a horror, slur the tongue, the mind, and the body into a hunchback, red-eyed, staggering beast. Bring that ghoulish scarecrow back to life on every holiday, after weekends, during celebrations. On any given night, alcohol would creep its way into the cracks of my father's broken and create space for itself. Costume my dad into the thing that goes bump in the night, but I'm learning that my father was not born a monstrosity. He did not choose to become someone that frightened me, but somewhere between my childhood and my 30s, I lost sight of who he was beneath the scary. I blamed him for my trauma, but never considered where his came from. Never wondered that how terrifying his childhood may have been. The demons he was forced to face growing up, or the ones he is still fighting today, like the bottles of liquor that haunt him at night, or the abuse he tried to drink away as a teen, or the feelings of abandonment, like losing your mother as a young boy. It's easy to ignore hurt when you aren't the one holding it. When the weight isn't yours to bear, it's easy to stand tall and say someone else is staggering. For years, I thought of my father, this horror, as if he was always this terrifying, as if he wasn't created by someone or something. I wonder if dressing up as a scarecrow was a metaphor the entire time. Like maybe my dad was trying to show us how easily we could be turned into monsters and remind us we always have the choice to take off the costume. I should have taken more time to lift up my father's mask, realize that underneath it all, he is still human. He is still my dad. I should have tried harder to understand why he hides behind it instead of being afraid and naming him the boogeyman. Farmers have always used scarecrows to ward off threats, to preserve the life of their crops. And so maybe my father's costume was just his way of trying to protect us. He knows there are far more gruesome things in this terrifying world than he. And despite how my dad chooses to deal with his hauntings, he will always be here to defend his family. After all, we are his seeds, his crops. And ain't it a scarecrow's job to keep them safe? To watch them grow and blossom and not care if the rest of the world is afraid?
Right. Thank you so much, Anita, our second calibration poet of the evening. Here we go. So judges, it's your second calibration to get those kinks out, to get loose. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that you scoring these motherfucking poets right. You know what I'm saying? I see those hearts going up. Thank you guys so much. So judges, comment your scores on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Judges, comment your scores for Anita D. That's Kev. I got a 9.6. I got a 9.9. I got a 9.7. All right, judges. Oh shit, I got the first 10 off a calibration poet tonight. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for Timbo Slice. Tim said 9. Perfect. Teamwork makes the dream work. I appreciate it. So we have a 9.6, a 9.9, a 9.7, a 10, and a 9 for Anita D. Now we getting into the real motherfucking slam, y'all. Happy holidays to everyone. All right. So Team Chakra, you are up first. Black Chakra coming up to the screen, y'all. They're going for $1,000. Let's do this. All right. Waiting for Black Chakra. There, Black Chakra is. All right. The screen is yours. Judges, this is the real deal. Make sure that you are listening up closely. Without further ado, Chakra, give him that word.
Amen. We gonna send him home today. This hearse be chariot, and the gods are ready to receive my boy. We gonna send him home today. They say the funeral is a celebration. So let this verse and the Bible verse serve as reverse birth. We all children of earth, but today we give you back to it. I say, amen. I do not rejoice in your death, but I will rejoice in how you died in Baltimore. Whenever one of my friends dies of natural causes, it's a blessing, yeah, you. When a bullet be your boogeyman, it doesn't get you, it's a victory, amen. It's something holy about a body being put in a hole and it's not full of holes, God bless. These streets ain't make you its dinner, so maybe you died, but you didn't get digested. Ain't no cop put they filthy hands on you, boy, you beautiful. And that suit's just as nice as the day you went to prom in it. 5 years ago, you so sacred. You get a halo and not a hashtag your 9th grade year. I didn't pull you in when we dapped. You were so frail, I was afraid I was gonna hug you to death. Now, I wish I could hold you to life. That lost so many friends. My high school reunion's gonna be in a cemetery. Our list of achievements since graduating, staying alive. I remember you used to rap with me. Now I'm up here freestyling your obituary. Your eulogy was a cappella, but now your mother begging on this coffin. That's a beat box. We gonna send him home today. Don't know disease, get the laugh, last son. You beat B-more, flew out of hell on a cloud. You like Goku in them skies, boy. Look how many spirits bomb when you pass. There has been no uprisings, but there has been a riot in my chest since you left. Ain't it joyful to go peacefully? Ain't it nice to know that it wasn't drugs, racism, suicide, murder, John Hopkins, police brutality, prison, not hateful hands, not jealous hands, just God's hands. Ain't we proud you ain't died like a black boy? That your justice is just this. We gonna send him home today, wrapped in love and not an investigation. No trials, just smiles. You home now. You home now. You home now. Amen.
This is about to be a motherfucking slam, y'all. So judges, this is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So I need you to judge correctly. Chakra had a 223, so Chakra is good on time. You know what I'm saying? All right, so on the count of 3, I need you judges to throw up your scores for the first poem that is the real deal in this slam from Team Chakra, Black Chakra. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Judges, throw up your scores. Off top for Black Chakra, I have a 9.7. I have a 10. I have a 9.6. I have a 9.8. And I got a 9.2 for Black Chakra Team Chakra. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Ed Mabrey, captain of Team Mabrey. Who you throwing up in this first slot? Let's make it happen. Woo! Judges, y'all got a hard time tonight. Hard time tonight, boys. Masterpiece is going to be the first poet of Team Mabrey up to this screen. So let's bring Masterpiece up here. Hey. All right, Masterpiece of Team Mabrey, the first poet of her team. Judges, get ready. Masterpiece, without further ado, the screen is yours.
Today I took all my pain. I put it in a slingshot, pulled it back, and aimed for happiness. This poem is for anyone who's suffering, didn't have enough elasticity to project their imperfections to a superhero version of themselves. I had meningitis when I was 9 months old. Left me with one ear. How can I know if I'm beautiful if I've never heard it? Speech therapy had me so frustrated I never saw the purpose. Ex-husband thought I wasn't listening, so he beat me half down. I don't know, maybe he thought I would be mute too. 37 years later, I taught myself sign language in the form of verses in prose. If I'm gonna talk loud, I'm gonna be powerful and use it as a gift so I have stage presence and my message has reverb so you still hear me when I'm gone. I'm the epitome of what happens when you pull me back, let go. I launch to my destiny. See, there's people who will come in your life just to break you. When maybe God already saw the pieces that you would take to rebuild yourself. You are stronger than you know. The irony is you don't know it until something stronger than you shows up. So when life gets tough, when the weight feels too heavy, when your patience is neatly tucked between forget you and I've had enough, just know that you are sitting right in the middle of a slingshot about to be catapulted to the next level of greatness. So sit up. Adjust yourself. You're not fat. You carry your weight. You ain't down. You just know better. You're not weak. You preserve your strength. Stand up. Claim it. Your smile is a weapon. Your joy is a trigger. Your success is revenge. Stop overlooking your arsenal. Take back your power. Launch to your destiny. There's people who are going to try you. People who are going to deny you. Well, all planes need a runway before they take off. These people are going to leave you. Most birds don't know they're eagles until they fly alone. I'm telling everyone who said I couldn't, I've been done it. I'm kissing the sky. And to those who thought I was too much, you can't get enough of me now. I pulled back 15 years of not knowing who I was, and I lunged into masterpiece. This poem is my slingshot. I'm no longer ashamed because I didn't hear you the first time. Matter of fact, I'll say it again because I didn't hear myself the first time. And to those people who told me they don't like repeating themselves, actions speak louder than words. I heard you the first time.
All right. That is Masterpiece from Team Mabrey. Y'all ain't ready. At 2:32, so Masterpiece is good on time, y'all. Hey. Had to play a little Prince, you know what I'm saying? Because Prince is good for every day, not just the holidays. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Masterpiece, judges, I need your scores on the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Judges, give me your scores. All right, I got a 9.1. I got a 9.9. I got an 8.9. Let's go, judges. This is sexy. This back-to-back-to-back scores. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. All right, I got an 8.7. And I need one more score from Best Kept. Where you at, Best? And a 9.5 from Masterpiece. Make sure you hard up that poet real motherfucking hard because that's what it's about. It's about the love, not the points. But it's kind of about the points because there's $1,000. You know what I'm saying? In the pot tonight. All right. So, Team Chakra, who are you throwing up? All right. I see you, Black Chakra. I see you. Yay. All right. Lady Brion is next to the screen. All right. So, I'm bringing Lady B up. All right. Here we go. Second round, y'all. All right. Here we go. Lady B, let me hear you. Make sure I can hear you well.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. All right, judges, this is second round. Team Chakra, Lady Brion. Without further ado, the screen is yours.
On this day, a fuckboy got me standing in the mirror questioning myself, which is to say, a boy with bad intentions and no ambition, not to mention he holds no loyalties to speak of, got me introspective and reflecting if my reflection deserves what little he has to offer. Here I am with my degrees hanging on the wall, a master's and bachelor's, he a bachelor, and that high grade is the closest he ever came to summa cum laude. I'm an executive, securing the bag, he insecure and homeless with a duffel bag. Y'all, this boy who can barely take care of himself got me in the mirror questioning my self-worth. But this ain't no woe is me poem, this a woe. Let's stop and take stock in inventory poem, a reminder of what I come from poem, this raw material made by the matriarchs of my family line. I'm a mixture of sisters with ambition so big it could crush a mere male ego. The first time I saw a woman in my family handle a fuckboy was in a church house where my aunt was pastor in a pulpit that used to say was only made for penises. She called this fuckboy by name Lucifer, or devil for short, and I watched the way she told him he was not welcome here. So you damn right, I've learned to tell a fuckboy to get thee behind me. My aunt Gail is actually a warden. She bought bossed up and took the position despite the stigma. So it makes sense that I decided to dedicate bars to a fuckboy who thought crossing me was a crime he could commit and get away with. My mother runs a daycare. Her childhood home always full of cribs and bibs. So in the spirit of changing diapers, she taught me never to put up with a boy's bullshit. See, the women in my family are equipped with barbed wire braziers meant to protect their bleeding hearts that have been bruised, but keep on beating their almond-shaped stairs. Don't take no talk back anatomy. Be bending bone, but ain't an ounce of break round here. Sashay as if their shoulders are sacred, and ain't no taking them for granted. They have gnawed gullible down to the gristle. Keep a hell no on the tip of tongue. Their Google definition is summed as unfuckwittable, and they have given me every iota of grit and grace. So I guess that makes this poem an anthem to never let a fuckboy win, because I come from women who been. So I vow to always remember who I am and to never let a fuckboy have me this fucked up ever again.
Lady B of Team Chakra. It don't stop. Like fire doesn't stop for any poet in this slam. Welcome. If you've never been to a slam, this is the one you should be in on. 1, 2, 3 judges. Comment your scores for Lady D from Team Chakra. All right, I have a 9. I have a 9.7. I have a 9.5. I have a 9. All right, I need one more score. I need Timbo Slice. He was a 9.7, perfect. All right, 9.7 was the last score, so I have a 9, a 9.7, a 9.5, a 9, and another 9.7. Thank you guys. Teamwork does make the dream work. All right, so now we have Team Mabrey. Team Mabrey, who you throwing up in the second round? Ed Mabrey himself is coming up in the second round. Here we go. So this is the second round. Ed Mabrey for Team Mabrey. Judges, get ready. Without further ado, Ed, the screen is yours.
And the cow goes moo, the sheep goes baa, the dog goes roof, the pillow goes I'm the best lover you've ever had, the bed goes why get out when today will look just like yesterday and y'all tomorrows gave up on themselves a long time ago. Your eyes go I'm sick of looking at myself. The mirror goes what the fuck are you looking at? Your smile goes, could you put me somewhere else more convenient? Maybe pass me on to somebody who'll actually use me from time to time. The window goes, do me the decency of opening me up before you decide to Peter Pan your ass out of me. Don't leave me broken teeth shard 7 stories up. Your arms go, we are not long enough to box with God. Nor do we have any feathers on here, so don't ever think you're gonna fly. Black boys don't fly. Your mama goes, I'll call you back. Your grandparents say nothing because they're dead from carrying the burdens themselves for years. Your boys go, well, you know, dog, you know, shit's fucked up, right? The church goes and we'll pray for you. And God goes, please hold, we'll take a number, we'll call you back at our nearest convenience. Jesus goes, didn't I stigmata myself enough for you? Don't you have better shit to do than this? I've already went through this process. It seems to you, you should simply be to accept the fact that you would do, and you don't say that word. You don't say depressed as a black man in America. You say sad. You say I'm having a bad day. You say smile. You say things are cool. You say nothing for days on end. You say, I didn't notice that COVID was happening outside because I'm used to keeping my ass in the house on a regular basis alone. This just gives me a good excuse. You say, good thing I can wear this mask. The mask goes, what's the fucking point of me being here? You've been wearing a mask for years already. Your belt goes, have kind of interest you perhaps in the Robin Williams assassination program. Get you a little choked out on yourself. The pills go, why are you paying attention to the prescription notice? You can take as many of these you want. Ain't you grown? Ain't you supposed to do what you want to do? Show that you your own God of your own universe. Papa's like crazy. The liquor goes, I knew your father once. I kissed him full on the mouth with a tongue deep in his throat. Why don't you kiss me the same way? But what you don't do is you don't mention that maybe you're having problems. You never mention that you are having a bad day. You don't explain the fact that half your poems have been suicide notes. You just didn't pull the pin off that grenade and let it launch into the middle of the average open mic or slam. You stand there and you smile. You do your poems and you do your job. The police officer goes, hey, today's ain't really a bad Black Lives Matter day, but you know, if you want me to take you out, I could do you the honor. You start thinking about running in front of traffic, but want to make sure that they actually get the goddamn job done. The razor goes, you know, I was meant for your neck, but your wrists seem to want to lick me so desperately. Oh, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, the cow goes moo, and the sheep goes baa, and the dog goes, you know.
I'm just saying. I gotta do dance breaks in between these poems because, wow. All right, so Ed had a 3-2 right on the mark. All right, so judges, here we go for Team Mabrey. Team Mabrey, I need you to throw your scores up on the count of 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Judges, comment your scores. 10. All right, to start out. Oh my God, another 10. I have another 10. And I have another 10. Best kept, I'm just waiting on you. Hey, a 9.9. That is a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10, and a 9.9 for Ed Mabrey of Team Mabrey. Chakra, this is the last round. Team Chakra, who you throwing up? Who are you throwing up in this last round? We already know who it is. It's going to be your last teammate, Meccamorphosis. You know what I'm saying? Mecca of Team Chakra in the 3rd round. Without further ado, the screen is yours.
My father warned me to yell fire if I was ever in danger, instead of yelling for help. Because people tend to fall in buildings more than fall in women, but by the time this poem is written, I will have more stories of how I never used it. Have walls I built and walls in need of repair. Have glass bursting from the windows to my soul. I should have yelled fire, but Dwayne used my water against me. I couldn't yell fire because Josh snuffed me with his body. I wouldn't yell fire when my father's stepkids thought me a kitchen stove. Their mother dared them not to touch. I just became fire, hoping to burn myself into a smoke signal and float away into sky, but they all just warmed themselves against my blaze like campfire, rubbing together their hands, trying to throw in their sticks. How can I yell fire when it needs oxygen to survive? And rape culture is such a suffocating thing, but ain't fire such a cliche? Ain't rape such a cliche? I know you've heard of a woman scorned, but have you ever seen her scorched? Scaling like dragon, ready to breathe the flames you are looking for. Fire and brimstone be my jewelry. And I've been a burning city for so long, I told you to think twice before looking back at me. Now you pillar of salt, and I'm pillar of smoke, warning you that my mouth is no longer a melted metal, and I am screaming, not just for me, but for the girls y'all set on fire after me. This was not how I wanted to be a trailblazer, and I am so sorry that I was afraid to burn so brightly that my father would know that I did not listen to him, and everyone would know that my body is damaged. But my father warned me to yell fire. He just didn't tell me about the people who created them. I can still see the ash left under their fingertips. How Dwayne be a fire starter right here in Baltimore, and Josh be a fire starter in my family tree, and children will always be used to playing with fires left around the house, and we all just use the fires burning those around us. To be a voiceless victim is to be a match burnt down to the fingertips, to be a voiceless ally, to be a kerosene firecracker speed spit to the face. The glow you see from us ain't beautiful. It is holding in a volcano. And when we open our mouths, we must coat everyone and everything, even ourselves, in magma. So when you see the pyre with the pile of our bodies coming down like hellfire, you better speak. You better scream. You better cry. You better yell.
Much Meccamorphosis for Team Chakra. Mecca had a 238, so Mecca is good on time. Fuck this slam. I needed a slam all season. All right, so the third round. This is the last round for Team Chakra, Meccamorphosis. Judges, on the count of 3, throw up your scores. You only got 2 more times to throw up scores, this time and next time. Then we bring up our feature, Leake. I'm going to calculate all these scores, get all these scores from the judges with the help of October Blue, my keeper of all things, aka my bout manager. And then we'll come back after Leake and we'll go ahead and set off this money gun. All right? So here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Judges, comment your scores. All right, I have a 9.6 from Best Kept, a 9.7 from Judy Holiday. Can I give an 11? A 10 is the max. I have a 10. All right. Keep them coming. Mayamo, Katie. I need yours and I need Timbo Slice. Timbo. Oh, there we go. So I have a 9.4 and I have a 9.5. Give it up for Mecca. You know what I'm saying? Mecca in round 3 for Team Chakra. All right. The last poet of this slam is about to come up to the stage, y'all. And then we go into our feature. I'm going to powwow with my judges and with my bout manager, verify all these scores after this poet. Then I'm going to bring up Leake during all this. And then I'm going to set off the money gun. And then y'all are going to donate. Y'all are going to follow me. Y'all are going to tune in for the finalists next week. And we're going to have a good-ass time together and keep spreading joy, love, and motherfucking truth. That's what's going to happen. All right, so Obbie West, I'm calling you up to it. Hey, there we go. I know we can do it. All right. So without further ado, judges, this is the last poet of the entire slam. Right after this, you're going to give your scores over to October Blue, over in the chat. So make sure that you take a picture after Obbie and send those in. This is Obbie West from Team Mabrey taking us out of this slam. Without further ado, the screen is yours.
The first time, peer pressure pressured me to do it. Little did I know that before I knew it, I would be addicted to it. It sent me on trips where I didn't have to trip over my hardships. I started off soft, but I was soon affixed on that hardship. Every inhale of my heavens followed by an exhale of my hells allowed me to dwell at heights beyond starlight. Or it was the slow, steady squeeze of the syringe sending Satan Schleeman slithering up my sleeve, sending my nervous system to a frenzy. Suddenly I'm feeling friendly and euphoria. Euphoria is glorious. The heaviness in my limbs begins to set in and the cotton in my mouth begins to dry the moisture out. My head begins to bob and now I'm on the knot. My harsh realities have become fiction and my fantasies have become reality, and it's as real as can be. And I can hear my veins singing like a cipher of sorrow blues singers, but you don't know the feeling when the ground is no longer beneath you and even God has to extend up in order to reach you. I'm moonwalking and I'm hearing voices talking, telling me, you're home. You're home. I look down and my arm is showing one-way blues tracks. There's no turning back from here, and I can't help but to wonder what the fuck is this? I thought you'd never ask. I am heroin, and from here on in, I own you, so I condone you to take all orders from me, because without me, you'll never be able to function properly. You're my property. So you will praise and give all props to me. You got me. I got you. And when my high subsides, I'm regretful for a sec, but it's not long before I'm in search of the next. Ever since my first breath, I've been abreast to the hazards of this, but I chose to ignore the forewarnings of how harming it could be. I thought addiction could never happen, right? I thought it could never happen. I thought addiction could never happen to me until it happened to me. Now I can't shake the vacate. It's only $15 to fly round trip from here to Satan's heaven and back. To the day that my ticket was unknowingly switched to a one-way, suddenly there's a flight delay, and now my life starts to decay. When I woke up this morning yawning, I didn't know that my fate lied in this 1 gram batch of self-hate, which likely took over my psyche, convincing me that no matter how much I hate, no matter how much I hate it, no matter how much you hate me, you like me. When it's dark, I'm your life's brightening. No matter how much they talk or you read despite me, you'll never be able to fight me. So you thought that you can just invite me and then politely slide me off to the side and belly off with my eye. But you couldn't hide the desires in your eyes. The stimulating sensation had you hastily chasing me and impatiently waiting to see how much your next check will be so you can check to see how much you'll be injected this week. You've invested in me so heavily that your debts has reached its ultimate peak, and ultimately your family will see that they're not as important as me. I'm your new son. I'm your best friend. I'm your boyfriend. I'm your joy when your joy ends. I'm your mistress who dismissed stress, but with no dress. Just a simple squeeze of the needle is all that you need to do.
This was the most fire fucking slam. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Judges, throw up your scores. Oh shit. I got a 10 from Mayamo Katie. I got a 10 from Judy Holiday. What? What? All right. I got a 10 from Best Kept. And mind you, this slam is like close. I got another 10 from Juliet Irons and a 10. That is the first perfect motherfucking score of the night. To heart up every single poet that was in this slam. I'm going to bring up our feature for the evening, Mr. Brandon Leake, who recently, hey, boo!
Yo.
So I was going to announce you, but you already here. You came in real quick. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm here.
For those of y'all who don't know, Brandon Leake did a monumental leap for poetry and basically went on a show with a bunch of singers and crazy acts and was like, yeah, I'm going to do poems. And then they were like, yeah, that's cool. You're going to do your poems. And then he was like, no, like poems like how we do poems. You know what I'm saying? And then the audience was like, oh shit, I ain't seen poems how y'all do poems. I fucks with that. And so because they said I fucks with that, Brandon done won America's Got Talent up in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's making moves for the entire community. So one, I love Brandon, and I actually kind of just got close with Brandon during quarantine, and he was coming through screen time before the show, and you were just like a sweet ass human, dude.
I'm the same dude who I was before I won, so it don't really, I guess.
As you should be. I love it. So Brandon, before you start, I'm going to have you do 2 poems so I can verify these scores, so I make sure to give this $1,000 pot to the right people.
Got you.
How do you feel about the slam?
Fam, that shit was inspirational. I'll be 100% honest with you. Like, I know I'm going to take a nice long hot bath tonight and do a lot of writing as I sit here in my nice little zip up onesie and stay warm out here in this California cold at like 50 degrees.
Just when you see the best in the game go poem for poem, dude, it's the most inspiring. It's either going to do one of 2 things. It's going to make you never want to write again, or it's going to inspire your ass right to the end of the earth. And so I'm so glad you were able to tune in. But I am going to let you rock it out. 2 poems. Give the people this good work. I want to thank you so much for rocking with Screen Time since the beginning, and always just showing up and just being dope. And I've enjoyed us building and continuing to build, and we're going to collaborate a little more in the new year.
I was going to say, actually, follow up in the new year.
Yes. I was like, in the new year. Because, look, people are kids. You know what I'm saying? We got to ride this holiday shit out. You know what I'm saying? We got to take a break, ride this holiday shit out. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please send up your hearts, send up your fire, support, and love for the amazing Brandon Leake.
Cool. Let's do this. I got 2 good poems for y'all. Tick, while staring at the clock in the waiting room at the ER, my mind wanders to places that it need not roam. Tick, and now I'm caught in all these existential thoughts because I believe in God, yet I'm afraid to die, but somehow I'm more afraid to live. That may sound confusing, y'all. Please just hear me out. Tick, the times in which I feel closest to death is when I feel most alive, so I tuck vitality under lock and key. Pray every night that joy don't come in the morning, because joy always seems to come before morning. The same way that life always seems to come before death, and anxiety ain't in my blood, but it's akin to me. That's why I've adopted this nervous tick, just trying to get a grip. But you see, these shaky hands and sweaty palms don't make way for a good grasp on reality. I'm just trying to live a fulfilled life, one of heartfelt celebrations, living in the moment, casting away twilight's uncertainty. But even in bliss, I can still hear this tick of death's clock, and now I'm questioning everything. My instincts say preserved life, even at the risk of losing joy. My heart says embrace these moments, because they don't come back no more. And now I'm here staring at these 2 hands on the clock, wedged between their pseudo dualities, and I can hear it growing louder. Tick tick. You see, my fear has me overly patient. Tick tick. And my pride got me feeling complacent. Tick tick. It take time to execute dedication. Tick tick. And look at all that time that I wasted. Now, that much closer to the grave with so much left undone, the ink on these pages of life are still wet, and I can already feel this book closing. That's why the story must be heard now, because don't nobody care about these tales from the cryptic. Can't y'all decipher this? This trepidation lingering behind fabricated smiles and counterfeit laughs. What I'm saying is I need saving, because my life is fading in anticipation of when this clock stops. Where I'm from is an engine block. A bunch of pissed teens raised under the hood taught that love is fragility. And even if you only a little brittle, it'll get you killed. And that's why I don't love my niggas. Matter of fact, I hate my niggas. Wish that I could erase my niggas, because don't nobody deserve this. To be forced to shape shift from human being target, depending on what block you on, to be more accustomed to the feel of Kevlar than you are your own family tree. But see here, sets run deeper than blood. Because I done seen pyromaniacs use a spark to turn a grape seed into raising a barrel in the sun. And that's why words like love no longer rest on our tongues, because in a place like this, a sweet word like love is such a bitter pill to swallow. And we all know too well the economy on vulnerability will cost one's humanity, and we've long exchanged that for survival, for being a real nigga, my nigga. You see, my niggas learned how to find love in the distance between their bodies and the concrete, and understand that being honorably discharged was a double entendre. This was the first moment that they ever felt peace, and that's why my niggas roam the streets in search of their own reflection, hit a rival block in hopes that they could gun down that inner demon of themselves so they can finally be free. So it don't matter if they position correctly, they ain't got to think too deep, just about 6 feet, and then it's over. It's crazy how that crime scene got turned into a block, the way them shots ran through that mirror, and now the shattered parts of that slain man's friends go all into his kin. And now what are you supposed to do? Kill all his family and friends? Because what's love to a person who lost everyone they ever cared about? A death wish? Peeped how your nigga's life sentence got turned into a sentence fragment? So hell no, I don't love my niggas. I don't hug my niggas, because when I do, dirt is the only other thing I put above my niggas.
I was waiting for you to say it's screen time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh,
wait,
man.
before you leave, I want you to tell folks what you got going on. What city are you in next? How they can support you. I always know you have merch, so tell the folks all the things.
Yeah, nah, I'm shoot, man, I'm home until after the new year. I'm not venturing back out touring until March, when, you know, we have a little bit firmer grasp on this COVID thing. Probably the only thing I want to advertise is poets make a 90-second poem. That's the only advice I can give you.
Okay.
It'll be very valuable for you.
All right, you hear that, poets? Write a 90-second poem. And here's the thing. Most of y'all got 60-second poems. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ever competed in iWhips or anything like that, you have your 60-second poem. So now he's giving you 30 seconds more. You know what I'm saying? So just have that on deck. That's all we say. Have it on deck.
People know. People know. Have your 90 seconds ready, and we gonna dive in. So,
I love it.
Aside from that, make sure y'all tip Kat. Like, she been doing this for almost an entire year. We thought quarantine would last a few weeks, and we now like 9 months into this goddamn thing, and she been running this thing, making sure that we people who are doing the spoken word thing got a spot to go. So make sure you tip Kat, show some love, and do everything that y'all do to make sure that that happens. So,
oh, thank you, love. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go so I can call up the team winner. Here we go. All right, so drum roll. Here we go. The winner, that is the ultimate screen time champ of champs, is, without any discrepancy, motherfucking Team Mabrey! This was an amazing slam, and every fucking poet killed it. Every poet killed it.